Hello all, I've got another little discovery project to do, quite simple, but I thought I'll do a little video for it just in case others want to know what to do. So what I'm trying to do today is I'm going to be replacing the actual aftermarket stereo unit with another aftermarket stereo unit. And one of the reasons for that is that I need to have a hands-free for the phone. And also this other stereo unit offers other little features such as USB charging and so on. So I'm just going to replace it. Here's the unit here. I'm not advocating any particular brand, but that's the one that I decided to go with. Or in fact, actually, I didn't decide to go with. It was actually quite a nice little birthday present from my parents. Now, for me to remove this is going to be fairly straightforward, but because I've got a whole range of cables under this unit here, I'm just going to take this off first in order to make sure that I can move the cables out of the way when I put the new stereo in. So I'll be doing quite a bit of fiddling around, which most of you won't need to do anyway. So I'll go ahead first and remove this cover. So with the cover out of the way, you can see what I mean. I've got all these cables feed into the base here, which sits pretty much on the side of the stereo body inside here. So I just need to make sure when I'm putting the new stereo in, I'm not snagging these cables on the way. But like I said, you don't have to worry about that because you most likely don't have that same setup. Okay, so this is a bit fiddly. So it's just a matter of popping the edges out and then you get the cover off. Now, some models are different, but to release the actual unit I use a Philly gauge, and it just happens to be a perfect fit in there. So it's just a matter of putting that in, putting a bit of pressure to try to lever out the unit. Here we go. And of course, when you're pulling this out, you've got obviously the cable still stuck in there and the aerial. So the unit is out. There it is, the old unit. And inside here, you can see that where the stereo plugs into the speakers and whatnot, there's actually like a junction box there, a hub. Don't know if you can see that. There we go. That one there, the white one. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to try to reach in and pull that out, so that way I can use the new wiring loom to reattach. So there's the unit. And as I said, all I'm going to be doing is effectively replacing like for like in terms of the colours. And hopefully the colours are universal, hopefully. So looking at the wiring diagram here, I've got the colours for the front left, right, rear, left, right speakers, the positive and negative cable colours, and then of course the power and ground and so on. So these three here that I've already wired, I've got the ground, I've got the yellow, which is the power, and I've got the accessory cables. And now I've got the front and rear speakers. So I've got obviously positive and negative, positive and negative, positive and negative, positive and negative for the four speakers. Well, it looks like a bit of a mess, but anyway, so to recap, what I'm doing is I'm making an assumption that the previous owner has used the correct colors to wire up the old stereo. So all I'm doing is I've just replaced the green with the green, and I've got the same colors for the others. So for example, these are still the original wires. I've got the grey, purple and white, the original wires, and the new wires I've got the grey, purple and white. So I'm just going to be, as I said, replacing light colour for light colour. Now that I've got the wiring done, I'm not going to actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the stereo up once I've got it right, connect it and check to make sure that all the speakers are working as they should before I actually fully put it back in. But before I do that, I'm going to be putting the speaker microphone in, I should say, and trying to find out a way that I could route it inside and outside to place it basically there. There's where I'm going to have it. So nice little convenient out of the way place to get it, to put it. Okay, so after looking at all the options, what I've decided to do is run the cable in through here, which is next to the dash console, which then takes it above the heater element and out through here. So I'm not sure you can see that, so it comes out through here. So in order to do that, it's just a matter of undoing this, and then you can see in the back there you've got the tabs. So it's just a matter of pulling it forward and moving it to the side. Now the tricky thing is to get the plug end in through there, and I'll show you what I'm planning on doing. So to get that end in through there, into this hole here, I can do it with my left. Here we go, in through there, and then popping out through here under there. So what I'm planning on doing is using a coat hanger wire, a bit of electrical tape just to secure it there, and see if I can feed it through across with any luck. So I've just fed the wire the other way, so through here, and connected it, if I can give you a bit of view here, connected it to the plug end. And now it's just a matter of trying to slowly work this way through without hopefully snagging on too many things. There we go. And here we are. Probably the easiest way of doing it. Right, so with everything in place, we've got the aerial, we've got the connector, and we've got the speaker, microphone. Then next thing to do is obviously put this in there, so make sure we don't forget to put that in there. I could have left the original one in there, but I figured I might as well use a new one. And so obviously all the connections need to come in through there as such. So with the unit in place, all I do now is just use some of these lock tabs here and just press that in, and that'll ensure that the unit doesn't slide back out. And I just only do these ones. I don't go too crazy with it, because if I need to take it out for whatever reason, it's easy enough to do. That's why I was able to take the other one out as a result. But there you go. So now that unit that's not going to slide out. So we're getting there. So the aerial and the plugs are in. I'm just going to tuck that in like that for a second. Put the keys in and get a bit of power. And we have Chilean band, good friend of mine. So let's see how we go. Nice. Beautiful. All right. Now we've confirmed that everything's actually working as it should be. Sounds fantastic. Now the next steps are to I'll disconnect the ignition first, the power first. All right, so that's in nicely. Sits beautifully there. I'll need to put this back, screw that back in, but before I do that, moving on to the mic. And of course, as I said, I've got all this excess cable, so I'm just going to tuck it back in and tuck it in behind here. I think there might be a little bit of room in here where the cavity is here, and then that should be fine. Okay, so I've just made a nice little, I've tied it, basically the cabling up. That'll sit somehow in the back there when I close it. I've already put that in place with a little sticky pad on the back. So now if I, where are we? Here we go, there we go. And before I drop that, just make sure that that's out of the way. So it's a bit tricky, these things. Okay, and so that'll sit, I'll fix it up in a second, but that'll sit nicely in there like that, and you won't be able to see it on the sides. Okay, so there we have it, all complete. Stereo's in, working as it should. The hands-free's in, and it's working as it should, so pretty much that's it. Took about an hour. Okay, as always, thanks for watching.